everyone, how are you today? My name is Eva. I'm the director of the Scottish Yarn Festival and the Scottish Wool Producers Showcase. The former event, the festival, is returning to Perth on the 9th and 10th of September. Tickets are available now from our website, so if you do not have yours yet, you want to get on there and make sure you've got that sorted. These live chats that I've been doing recently are an opportunity to speak with some of vendors who will be at the festival and have a look at the 3 things that you should not miss when you come to the festival. And typing, brain doesn't work in that way. But I have just sent an invite to Katrina, who is Flora Fibres Yarn, and just like magic, there she is. Although you seem a bit squished in.
Oh, hang on. I was trying to do this on my computer. Let me switch over. I'll do it on my phone.
It's okay. It looks like it's some sort of, it looks like it's a filter or something.
No, it's just, hang on. Let me try again. Let me, tell you what, let me leave this and then send me the invite again. I'll do it on my phone this time.
Okay, that's grand. We'll do that. Stay tuned, folks. This is your Friday morning entertainment. There we go. So we shall try that again. Okay, that's the invite sent. I can see the whole phone doing the split screen thing. So you're there. You've turned on your video.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, you look a little bit better now.
Did you not like me really tall and skinny?
I thought we could go with this, but it'll probably do exactly the same thing to your yarn, and then we're not going to see it at all. Yeah, it's like Mr. Lawyerman, you've got your cat filter switched on, or Mr. Whiskers, you've got your Lawyerman filter on. That was a big thing, was it, years ago when we started doing lockdown and people were on Zoom and doing all those sorts of things and adding fancy backgrounds.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So, morning, Katrina. For those people who are maybe joining, I would think they'd know who you are if they're coming from your side, but if you're coming from my side today or watching this on one of the other channels, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your business?
Sure. So my name's Katrina and I run Flora Fibres Yarn, and my thing is all of my yarns are completely plant-based, so they're suitable for vegans, they're suitable for people with wool allergies, and they're suitable for anyone who wants to try something a bit different.
Fabulous.
And all the dyes I use are natural dyes as well, which is something a wee bit different. You don't see too many natural dyers around, so a wee bit different when you come to me.
A little bit different. So what we've been doing with these lives is just kind of theming them to 3 things that should not be missed from your stall, and especially because you are different from the norm in that you do your botanical dyeing or your natural dyeing, and you do your cuprous floss as well, for all those sort of embroidery needs that you might have, as well as your more maybe kind of, it's not even traditional yarns because you've got such a wide range of different natural fibre bases that you use. We're going to ask you to kind of narrow it down. If you could only save 3 of these children, what 3 should people not miss from your stall this time round?
Well, I've got some examples here. So the first one, my love, is Tencel. So this is one that I've got at the moment. Tencel is a really interesting yarn. It's made from eucalyptus trees. It's very, very environmentally friendly. It's won a bunch of awards for how well it's made. It's a completely closed loop production system. So whilst it is quite similar to like a bamboo yarn, it's much better for the environment, because although bamboo plants grow really quickly and easily, the production of the fibre from bamboo is a bit of a greenwash. They use very harsh chemicals and they're not very careful about stopping those chemicals from escaping into the environment. Whereas Tencel is completely closed loop, so all the water, all the chemicals, everything is recovered and nothing is wasted and nothing is allowed to get out into the environment. So it's a much better fibre environmentally. And of course, eucalyptus trees, anyone who's got one in the garden knows they grow like weeds. So that's why they're chosen. They grow so fast. They don't need to be watered because they've got really long tap roots, and they don't need any pesticides either. So it's a great choice for raw material for this yarn.
I knew that Tencel came from wood pulp. but I didn't realise that it was specifically eucalyptus trees that they used.
I don't think it has to just be eucalyptus, but I think the main branded tencel is eucalyptus, and the company that makes it, I think it's a German company, but they also own the forest, so they've got complete control over their product.
Yeah, because Tencel is a trademarked.
Yes.
There we go. Can you give me 2 seconds? I'll go shut the window.
So yeah, like I was saying, it's a really cool fibre and definitely one I would recommend trying.
Sorry about that. It's a street down, so hopefully shutting the window should sort of block that out. But it's that time of year. Yeah, Tencel. So a good few years ago now, when it started kind of coming onto the market and being used in textiles, I got a pair of plum-coloured jeans. So they were like a denim's cotton, but they were a cotton and tencel blend, the most amazing plum colour. And I wore those until they fell apart. They were fantastic, and I was surprised. I was a little bit dubious at first, as just how hard wearing is this going to be? And I am hard on my jeans. I've got those, traditional Scottish. Let's go with the word muscular thighs, and you walk the seams rub. There's nothing that you can do about it. But I was really surprised as to just how substantially the fabric held up.
Yeah, well, we've got some tencel bed sheets that we bought from IKEA, so it's in all sorts of places now. It's being used in underwear, sportswear, all sorts of things, because it's also, not only is it great for the environment, it's moisture wicking, which means it's antimicrobial, antifungal, antibacterial, all the good antis.
All the good things.
It's
just like wool does. Just like wool does.
And it's also thermoregulating, so you can wear it all year round, which is another benefit of it. So, I hate it when you make a project and you've got to pack it away for 6 months when the weather's wrong.
Definitely. So there we go. We've got your tencel base. What else should we not miss from your stall this year?
So the other one that I'm well known for is the banana yarn. So at these festivals, I always have people come up going, "Are you the banana lady?" I'm the banana lady. This is a really cool yarn as well. It's made from the leaves of the avoca tree, which is a cousin of the edible banana. So it's a really interesting yarn. It's got a slight boucle effect to it, but it's a lace weight, so it's really lovely for shawls and things. I've got a really nice sample that I'll have up in my stall, and it's so drapey and lightweight. I mean, this whole shawl is only about 80 grams of yarn. It's not even one skein, but it's just almost ethereal. It's a beautiful yarn.
So we've got some comments there. Morning, Irina. Fibre Chat. She's saying the colour your tencel is also just spectacular. Irina might be a little bit biased because if it's blue, she's in love with it anyway. Inikos Devs, I have some of the banana yarn in my stash.
There you go.
Yeah, so there's still time to get that on your needles or hook and off and blocked in time to bring it to the festival. But you're right, it looks so ethereal and lightweight. How does it block? What are its qualities like for blocking?
So I mean, this is my show sample, and that means that everyone paws at it when they want to have a feel of the yarn. I mean, just look at it. You can see it just blocks beautifully, and no matter how many times people are touching it and feeling at it, it doesn't affect how well it's blocked out. So it's a really lovely one, and it's one of these ones that when you block it, it grows 3 times the size. So it really does open up and bring out the pattern beautifully.
I'm a big fan of that. I think maybe it's just a Scottish climate thing that I'd like to be wrapped, like my shawls are blankets.
Yeah, definitely that. Especially the weather today. What happened to August?
I know it's a bit close up here, but it's that changeable. You don't know. You don't know. Yeah. So what about the third thing that shouldn't be missed?
So the third thing, you were mentioning embroidery before, and I've got these packs again of the embroidery thread. This is another really cool thread. It's called Cupro, which you might have heard of. It's pre-consumer waste cotton, which is then processed in the tencel method to produce new fibres. So it's more similar to tencel than it is to cotton, but it's made from waste cotton. So it's a really nice fibre. It's got a little bit of a sheen to it, not quite as much as like pure tencel, but it's still really beautiful for working with. It's great for cross stitch or embroidery or sashiko or all sorts of things. And again, it's naturally dyed, so you get a little rainbow of colours there to make whatever your project is that you want to do your stitching on.
It's lovely. So how many colours have you got like in that little pack there? What sort of weight, combined weight, are they coming in at?
So each of these is 3 grams of thread, which is about 85 meters. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of them in the pack.
Fabulous. And are they stranded? Because it's been a while since I've looked at Cooper cotton, but it is stranded just like your sort of embroidery floss would be if you were doing cross stitch or whatever as well, isn't it?
Yes,
Or is it?
It's got 2 ply, so if you wanted to, you could probably pick them apart. But yeah, I've only used it as is.
Yeah, no, it looks absolutely fabulous.
And because it's got that slight sheen to it, it just glides through. You know, it doesn't grip onto whatever your fabric is. It sews really nicely.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for sharing those with us. It's always a delight to kind of have you come and join us at the festival or to see what you're bringing along, because what you're doing is so different from what an awful lot of what you kind of see out there. Not that sounds like I'm being negative. I'm not, but you kind of get used to seeing the same sort of 75, 25 or 100% particular type of bases. So it's lovely to see that, and I would love to see more sort of dyers and businesses getting involved with the embroidery side. I think it's growing. I think it had a resurgence during lockdown when a lot of us went back to the comfort of the crafts that we did during childhood.
Yeah.
As a distraction. And it's lovely to see, you've got a lot of people doing embellishments on knitwear and crochet. And we're going through another cycle of that again. So I'm really hoping to kind of see that side of everything grow in those offerings.
And I've also noticed a lot of people are going back to, it feels a bit 90s, they've got the denim jackets with the embroidered collars and down the backs and things. That definitely seems to be coming back in as well.
Yeah, I had an army surplus rucksack when I was at secondary school, and I had the dissolvable fabric, and I would cross stitch little stars in the pockets of this army surplus thing, just using the standard. I mean, it was just DMC and Anchor that was available when we were teenagers, but I did that, and yeah, it's lovely to see things like that kind of coming back as well. And yeah, I don't know, I mean, you used to get the booklets and it was like embroidered bibs for babies, and I just thought, why would you do that? You just know there's going to be chocolate mousse or something, or tomato soup's going to go all over that. They looked absolutely stunning in the photographs that you would see. So I don't know if people will go full on back to that extent again, but yeah, certainly that used to be a thing, didn't it?
Definitely. I mean, I have a beautifully cross-stitched little bib that we got for one of our boys that one of my husband's aunties made. And that definitely only got brought out for pictures and maybe for like crisps or like snacks that weren't going to make a huge mess. Like it definitely wasn't for lunch.
Definitely. It's just, we think now about, what do we give someone, you can chuck in the washing machine that is a natural fibre as much as possible, because you just don't have time to hand wash for really, really smalls. And it's like, yeah, we used to do these bibs. People used to do these bibs. My goodness. Yeah, there's a huge amount of cross stitchers. They just aren't always aware of UK dyers for floss. It's true, but I'm seeing that there are changes, and you've got people out there who are sort of like botanically dyeing linen within the UK now to go and stitch across and top as well. So those are your 3. Who do you not want to miss at the festival this year?
Well, I must admit, I'm a little bit sad to see that John Cowan's not there this year because, I had to just be forced to buy another one of his beautiful baskets. But I'm always excited to see Katie from Sealy McWheely. Katie and I have known each other for a number of years now. I can't even remember where we first met. It might have been in Perth 2017 or it might have been Aberdeen, I can't remember. But it's always nice to catch up with her and see all the colourful craziness going on in her stand.
I think Katie's been with us every year since 2017. Yeah, she's kind of a fixture, and now she's a key sponsor, so it's lovely to kind of have her more involved in that. Oh, look, she's watching. I didn't even realise that. You said about John Cowan. I don't think we've had John. It's 2018, was 2018 the last year that we had him? I don't know if he was there in 2019, but we do have Westfield Croft, and they do really incredible willow baskets.
Oh, that's dangerous to know.
You haven't completely swerved
I'll
that
warn my
one.
husband.
Yeah, Westfield Croft came along to our Scottish Wool Producer Showcase in the March there, and yeah, I think that was one of their most popular products. That and their they do pegloom cat mats. So yeah, Katie's agreeing. Marge's baskets are incredible, and I think we're trying to make her cry before midday. Challenge accepted. Absolutely, must try harder on that one. But yeah, I think I'd got one of the baskets for one of our volunteers as a thank you who'd gone above and beyond, and they said, "Oh, I really fancy that basket." It's like, I'll just go and buy that now so that you can't and give it to you. But yeah, they've been working really hard. I think Frank, who is the person who actually makes them, and the willow, I believe, is grown on their croft.
Oh, lovely.
So it's really, as sustainable as we possibly can get it. Having them along this year is going to be a joy, because I think there's just something about having a naturally woven basket to keep those beautiful curated yarns in while you're using them, or just to store them. But yeah. Thank you so much for taking some time out to have a chat with me this morning, Katrina. It is a joy. I'm just trying to think, just because I've got you here and just because you do all the weird ones, do you have any new or particularly, I wouldn't say unusual, but not really that readily available commercial bases that you might want to mention? Just for a kind of look out.
Well, a new one that I've just got that's not even hit my Etsy shop yet is I've got a new t-shirt yarn, which is quite cool. So it is t-shirts that were made and then not sold and have been ribbonized. So each skein of yarn is one t-shirt. So that's quite cool. That's another nice sustainable one. So let me think. I have been looking at, a few years ago I had pineapple yarn, and it was a machine spun one, it wasn't a hand spun one. And sadly the person I got that from has gone out of business, and I have found recently somewhere in Europe that's selling them, but of course being in Europe it involves a lot of extra fees having to import them here. So I was half thinking about organising some kind of like crowdfunder type dealio to see if I could put in like a big order, and then people could maybe get a slight discount if they wanted to support that, and then get some of that yarn over here, because they had all sorts of interesting yarn bases as well as the pineapple. But I love the pineapple, it's so eco-friendly as well. Because I don't know if I've ever told you about it, because the yarn is made from the leaves of the pineapple plant. Because pineapples are pretty silly plants, they produce one pineapple and then that's the plant done, and then you have to like cut them down and produce whole new plants to get the next crop of pineapples. So what the farmers used to do was just clear the fields and burn it all. So now instead of doing that, they are getting a second income from what was a waste product, and it's not getting burned. So it's a lovely fibre. It's quite linen-like, it's a bast fibre. It's very long and very strong. So I would really love to find another source of that. And I particularly like that one as a machine spun rather than a hand spun, because it gets it finer and it's really lovely to work with. It's beautiful for weaving as well. So I think I definitely, now that the summer holiday craziness is over and my kids are back at school, I'm going to more seriously look into stocking some of that.
I think I might have a UK supplier that might be able to help you out there. So obviously things are just a wee bit chaotic at the moment. Remind me after the festival.
Okay.
And I will make some inquiries for you, but I think I might be able to help out on that one. I certainly didn't know that it was one plant and gone, but it's all these kind of like fruit and things, facts that you hear, like banana's not a fruit, it's a herb.
Yeah, and did you know it takes 18 months to grow a pineapple?
I did not.
It takes a long time to grow a pineapple.
And then you look at, what they're charged for in the supermarket, and you just think, oh my goodness. Because it's not reflective of the labour or anything that go into these things at all. And Yeah. Don't really want to kind of stop the interview on a downer, but I really feel that we should be more mindful of where our materials kind of come from, and what we are involved in here is it's slow textiles, whether we're knitting, we're crocheting, we're spinning, we're weaving, we're stitching, or a combination of all of the above.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to race through making our projects, that slow process. I very much believe in spending a little bit more on better quality materials that the provenance and the history of as much as you possibly can, and then sort of working with those and then getting the most wear out of whatever it is that you create as well. So thank you so much for coming on. If you aren't able to come to the festival this year, and we really hope that you can, or you're maybe watching this and after the event's taken place or through some other format, like Katrina said, she does have her own Etsy shop. So if you're feeling inspired to go and make a purchase after watching this, please do leave a little customer note making a reference to this live. It just helps everybody track where particular sales come from, because it's really difficult to know that sometimes. It just takes a moment or two extra of your time, and it really helps both of us. So thank you for that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for
And
having me.
it's always a pleasure, and I'll see everybody later on.
Yeah. And I'll see you in Paris.
Bye bye for now. Bye bye.
Bye.